Open the driver's side door. Now right where the driver's left side foot would go, that's where the primary hood release lever is. Pull it. Now in front of the vehicle, that's where the secondary hood release lever is, right on top of the Hyundai emblem there. Put one finger in there, push it left, and the hood opens up. Now we need a prop rod over here to secure the hood in place. Get the prop rod out, and we need to insert it in that slot over there with the arrow marking it. Get the prop rod in there, slide it in, let the hood go. It's now secured in place. Now first off, let's check out the brake fluid. The brake fluid is right there behind the battery. That white container, that's the reservoir for the brake fluid. If you want to check the level, there's markings on the side of the container there. See that? Max and min. If you can't really see the fluid level, you can try wiggling the container a little bit. Okay? Do it lightly. And then you can see the fluid inside slosh, and then you can get an idea of how much fluid is there. Now the way the brake system works is you got three main components to it. You got the brake pedal, you got the brake fluid, and then you got the actual brakes. The only thing that connects your brake pedal to the brakes is the brake fluid. So obviously it's very important. Now if you want to make sure that it's in good condition and that there is enough of brake fluid. The problem with brake fluid is that it's hygroscopic, meaning it just loves moisture. The moment you expose brake fluid to the atmosphere, it's just going to absorb all the moisture out of the air. And that's the problem, because you do not want brake fluid and moisture to be mixed together, because that makes it unpredictable. And when that does happen, your brake pedal now starts feeling spongy and mushy, and the car takes longer distances to stop, so that's not good. If it does happen that you left the cap off for more than 15-20 minutes, what I strongly suggest you do is you take your car to a mechanic. They have a device that can measure the moisture content in the brake fluid, and they can tell you if you're okay or if you need to get your brake fluid flushed out. And if you do need to get it flushed out, that's one place you do not want to cheap out on. So definitely just get it done if you have to get it done. It is what it is. The brake system is sealed off, right? So it doesn't really consume brake fluid on a daily basis. So it's not like you have to top it off every now and then. The reason why you may notice a change in the brake fluid level though is that one, either there's a leak in your system which is serious and you definitely want to get that checked out, or two, your brake pads are worn down. So what happens is when you get new brake pads, they're thick. Over time though, they get worn down and they get thinner. And now in order to compensate for the thinner pads, the worn down pads, the brake system takes some of the fluid out of the reservoir and into the actual brake lines. So that may cause the level to go down in the reservoir. All right? So those are the two reasons, and if you do have to top it off, I'll show you how to do it. Now it says it right there on the cap there. Use only .3 or .4 brake fluid from a sealed container. Right? .3 or .4. So get brake fluid container like this, it says it right there on it, .3 and .4. If you have to top it off, open up the cap, and right there, that's where the brake fluid goes. As soon as you're done, like I said before, as soon as you're done filling up the brake fluid, put the cap back on right away and lock it in place. Now what happens is when the engine is running, it just produces heat, right? It's burning fuel, so it gets hot. Now you want the engine to be warm, but you don't want it to overheat, because if it overheats, then it just causes all sorts of problems, so you don't want any of that to happen. Now that's where the coolant comes in, because what the coolant does is the coolant circulates within the engine, it collects all the heat, and now the hot coolant, it goes to the radiator, it cools off and comes back in, collects more heat, goes back to the radiator, cools off, comes back in. The cycle keeps on repeating again and again. However, in this whole system, what you need is an expansion tank, because the coolant itself, as it heats up, it's going to expand. And as the name suggests, you need an expansion tank where the extra coolant can sort of just go temporarily, and then it can come back to the main cooling system. And that's what you need an expansion tank for. Now that's the radiator pressure cap, that's the coolant expansion cap, that's what the electric fan is for the radiator, right? Now that is the pressure cap. There's a label on it clearly that says never open it when it's hot. Okay, there's pressurized coolant in there. If you open it when it's hot, it's going to come out, it's going to cause injury. But for the curious types, I'm going to do it right now, and I'm only doing it because this engine was cold. The car was sitting here overnight, right? It's cold, it's not under pressure. So I open up the cap like that, and all that's there is coolant, nothing else. All right, just put it back on. I'm going to tighten it. So if you do have to top it off, I'm going to show you where to do it. It's from the coolant expansion tank, not from the radiator pressure cap. Never open it when it's hot, and you actually have no need to open it even when it's cold. So there's a line from there, from the pressure cap, that goes to the coolant expansion tank. It connects over to the bottom of it. It says it right there on it, coolant. To get an idea of the level of the fluid in the coolant expansion tank, look at the side there. There's two markings, L and F. L is low, F is full. It should be between the two. If you have to top it off, open up the cap there, grab the proper coolant. Get one of these that says all makes and models, so that way you can't go wrong. And read everything that's on there. Alright, this one over here is pre-mixed, so it comes as a mix of distilled water and coolant. So all I have to do is just ready to pour. If you want, you can get the coolant concentrate, but this one's easy. It's already pre-mixed. All you have to do is just fill it up. And this is mainly just to top it off. If you're gonna do like a full flush, then just get the concentrate, but like this is just to top it off. Once you're done, close the cap. Now the engine oil is the most important fluid in your car. Without engine oil, your engine's gone. It's seized up. Alright, and that's a major problem. So the easiest thing you can do to make sure your engine lasts a long time is to make sure that it has proper engine oil in it, the proper quantity and the proper type of engine oil in it at all times. Alright? So you definitely want to check your engine oil at least once a month. Don't wait for that warning indicator light to come on your dash. By the time it comes on, it's too late. And if you're in the middle of nowhere, you may not even have a way to go get new engine oil and top it off. So just check your engine oil level once a month at least. Now the reason why the engine oil is so important is because if you open up that engine, you will find there's hundreds of small pieces which are so close together, working at high speeds, under high temperature, and they just keep on going on for such a long time. And the only thing that prevents the metal parts from rubbing against each other is the engine oil. Alright? So that's the one thing you definitely want to make sure you are in good shape. Once the hood is open, right there, the yellow dipstick, that's the one for the engine oil. It even says it right there on the top, engine oil. And that's the filler cap if you do have to top off engine oil. So first off, we'll grab the dipstick, pull it out. Go ahead and grab a rag. Pull the dipstick up straight, just like that, and pull it out completely. As soon as the dipstick is out, just wipe it clean. And now let's take a closer look at it. You see there's two markings on it, L and F. L is low, F is full. The oil level should be between L and F. If you are at L, in order to get the level up to F, you need 1 quart of oil. You need to add 1 quart of oil to go from low to full. Now let's put the dipstick back in. We'll put it in all the way, pull it out, and get a fresh reading and get an idea of how much oil do we need to add, if we need to add any. All the way in, pull the dipstick out, and now let's take a closer look at it. Right away. Okay, in this one, the fluid is right over the F level, so it's a little bit over full, which is okay. Little bit is okay. I mean, you don't want it to be way too over full because that causes another set of problems, and you don't want it to be below L either. So it should be between L and F. Little bit over F is okay, like in this case. See that? That is good. Now if you had to top it off because say if the fluid level was low, all you have to do is just grab the filler cap over there, twist it left like that. 1 turn, 1.5 turn, off it comes. And that's where the oil goes in, directly in the engine. Now right on the cap it says what type of oil you need. It says SAE 5W20 right there, SAE 5W20. So on the oil container, look at it, 5W20. So that's the one that would go in the engine if I had to top it off. Usually on the side of this container there's a marking that indicates like 1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quarts, so that helps you measure how much oil to top off. Once you're done topping off oil, put the cap back on, twist it 1.5 turn, and then click, and then you're good. Once you're done topping off the oil and checking the oil level, don't forget to put the dipstick back in. Goes in all the way, and make sure it goes in. Let's get a closer look right there, all the way, and locks in place. The reservoir with the blue cap on it, that's the one for the windshield washer fluid. Flip it up. Now let's go ahead and grab the windshield washer fluid. You could put water in there, but if you live in a place where it gets cold, gets below freezing, definitely use windshield washer fluid. And remember that it's a chemical, so store it somewhere safely. You don't want to put it someplace where a kid or a pet could drink it or just get access to it. So get the windshield washer fluid, open up the safety cap, get it out. Now when you're pouring the fluid in it, hold the container the way I'm doing it. That way you have more control over the pour and there's less splashing and spilling around. Just keep on filling it up you'll see the fluid level come up. Keep on doing it. And if you run out of fluid, you can get some other brand's fluid and mix it with the first one. There's no problem. You can mix the wash fluids. Fill it up all the way to the top, flip the cap closed, and that's pretty much it. Now the transmission fluid. I'm sure you're probably wondering where the transmission fluid dipstick is. It's not like the older cars. This car, this transmission is sealed for life. So there's no dipstick for us to just go and pull it out and check the quality and the level of transmission fluid. But in reality, it's more like sealed till the warranty lasts. It's not really sealed for life for as long as you're going to keep the car. So if you're going to keep the car for a long time, what I suggest you do is every 100,000 miles or 160,000 kilometers, you can flush the fluid. There is a drain plug and there is a way to fill up the fluid. There's just no dipstick. That's about the only thing. But if you really want to just flush the fluid, you can do it. So every 100,000 miles or 160,000 kilometers, just get the transmission fluid flushed and you should be all set. Now, power steering fluid. There is no power steering fluid in this car because this is not a hydraulic based. The older cars used to have a hydraulic power steering system, and hydraulic systems had fluid in it, so there was a way for you to check the fluid and make sure it was topped off, good condition, all of that. But this car has electric power steering. So the way the power steering works is there's a motor that actually helps you turn the steering. So if anyone tells you you need to get your power steering fluid flushed, there is no power steering fluid in this car. It's funny, and the reason why I even mention is because in one of my previous videos for our 2017-2018 Hyundai Elantra, which again also has electric power steering, someone mentioned that they took the car to a dealership and the dealership technician suggested that they should get a power steering fluid flush, which had made no sense to me whatsoever. And I mean, just doesn't make any sense because there is no fluid to begin with. I mean, there's no point of having fluid in it. So if you're wondering where the power steering fluid is, there is none in this car, and that's one less thing to check and worry about. And that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below, or you can message me on my Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Thank you.